loyal.
You use me as bait?
Get over it.
It looks like Marvel's Vampire Hunter is finally stirring back to life. After years of waiting, Blade's design for his next Marvel Cinematic Universe appearance has officially been revealed, and it's already getting fans talking. Mahershala Ali was first announced as the new Daywalker way back in 2019, and that announcement had everyone buzzing because Ali seemed like the perfect successor to Wesley Snipes. But as much as people were ready to see him slash through vampires, the project hit a long stretch of roadblocks. Marvel kept rewriting the script over and over, hoping to deliver the best version of Blade possible, but because of that, production slowed to a crawl. The situation got so tangled that Marvel eventually removed Blade from its release slate entirely, delaying it indefinitely. It wasn't cancelled, just benched, waiting for the right moment. For a while, fans were left with nothing but Ali's brief voice cameo in Eternals, that blink and you'll miss it tease where he warns Dane Whitman about the dangers of the Ebony Blade. But that was it. The Daywalker was out there somewhere in the MCU, waiting for his moment to strike. And now, it looks like that moment has finally arrived, just not in the way people expected. Because in Marvel's next big 2025 project, Blade is coming back. Sort of. The version we'll see first isn't from the live-action side of things, but from the animated series Marvel Zombies. And while Mahershala Ali isn't voicing the character, the show's Blade is directly modeled after him, giving us the first proper visual of what the MCU's Blade will look like. The announcement came with the release of the Marvel Zombies trailer, and it didn't hold back. Blade storms into the zombie apocalypse, cutting down the undead left and right. In one standout moment, he slices through a zombified version of Ghost from Thunderbolts, showing some of the same intensity and combat style that made the character iconic in the first place. Even though this Blade isn't technically part of the main MCU timeline, it feels like the perfect warm-up for what's to come later. The show introduces a fascinating twist, too. This Blade wears Moon Knight's armor. It's a bold, creative decision, merging two very different mythologies. The idea of the Daywalker adopting Moon Knight's look hints that this version of Blade exists in a world where the rules are entirely different. His costume combines white, silver, and black tones with glowing eyes that give him an almost supernatural edge. It's a clear visual break from Wesley Snipes' sleek leather and sunglasses look. The design feels like a mix of ancient warrior and modern hunter, something that fits perfectly into the eerie tone of Marvel Zombies. Now, comparing this to the past live-action Blade, you can really see how Marvel's approach has evolved. Snipes' version from the early 2000s trilogy leaned hard into the urban gothic aesthetic, long coats, body armor, and an attitude that screamed late-night action movie cool. When he popped up again in Deadpool and Wolverine, his look got an update, more tactical, more grounded. But the Marvel Zombies Blade? He's something else entirely. He feels more mythic, like a character who could step into either a horror story or a cosmic one without missing a beat. Of course, fans have been eager to see Mahershala Ali's full live-action debut since his casting was announced. It's been over 5 years, and the wait has been long. Every few months there's been a new update, a new writer, a new director, another script revision. At one point, the story was supposed to be set in the 1920s. Then it shifted to a modern-day vampire thriller. There were even rumors about it being a darker, more character-driven film that leaned into supernatural horror rather than the typical superhero formula. But because of creative changes, scheduling conflicts, and shifting priorities inside Marvel Studios, the movie kept getting pushed further back. Even though the delay has been frustrating, there's a sense that Marvel wants to get it absolutely right. Blade isn't just another superhero, he's a cult favorite, a character who bridges horror and heroics. So when Marvel Zombies drops, it's not just an animated spin-off, it's Marvel's way of testing how far they can go with Blade's tone before his eventual live-action return. The interesting part is that Marvel Zombies could end up setting up something bigger for Blade in the multiverse. Since Avengers Secret Wars and Doomsday are expected to crack open the multiverse wide, this version of Blade, the one wearing Moon Knight's armor, could easily cross over into live action. Marvel has been experimenting with this kind of crossover for a while now, using What If and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to establish that alternate versions of characters can pop up in different realities. So, it wouldn't be surprising if Mahershala Ali's Blade makes his real debut through a multiversal twist connected to these upcoming Avengers movies. And there's a fun bit of casting trivia here too. The new animated Blade is voiced by Todd Williams, who fans might recognize from The Twilight Zone and Fear the Walking Dead. What's even more interesting is that Williams has replaced Mahershala Ali before. He voiced Titan in Invincible, a role that Ali had played earlier. So there's this odd but cool connection where Williams keeps stepping in for Ali in superhero projects, almost like a recurring inside joke in Hollywood. As for why Ali isn't voicing Blade this time around, Marvel hasn't made an official statement, but it's not unusual. What If and Marvel Zombies often use different voice actors for characters whose live-action actors are busy or focusing on other MCU projects. Chris Evans didn't voice Captain America in What If, and Robert Downey Jr. didn't return as Iron Man either. So this isn't a sign of a recast, it's just a logistical thing. Ali's version of Blade is still the official one for the MCU's main timeline. The main takeaway here is that the MCU is clearly gearing up for Blade's larger role in the future. The multiverse arc is heading toward its climax with Doomsday and Secret Wars, and it's the perfect setup to introduce darker, more supernatural heroes. With the multiverse saga blending realities, this could lead straight into a Midnight Suns team-up. Imagine Blade alongside Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, and even Elsa Bloodstone. It's a lineup fans have been begging for, and it would give Marvel the chance to bring horror fully into the MCU. Another reason Blade's revival is so exciting is that it ties back to Marvel's current shift toward mature storytelling. Shows like Daredevil Born Again and Echo have already pushed the boundaries of violence and realism, and Marvel Zombies being rated TV-MA suggests Marvel is testing darker waters. Blade, being a vampire hunter, naturally fits right into that tone. The MCU has evolved since Eternals. It's less afraid to get gritty, which means Blade could finally return with the edge that made his early 2000s movies so iconic. Although it's taking longer than expected, there's something kind of poetic about how Blade's story keeps adapting. The character himself is all about survival, fighting through the dark, refusing to die even when everything around him burns. So in a way, his delayed return mirrors that resilience. It's as if Marvel knows that when Blade finally steps into the spotlight again, it has to be unforgettable. And when that time comes, the groundwork will already be there. The design revealed in Marvel Zombies gives fans a taste of how powerful and stylish the new Blade can look. The show also builds anticipation by letting audiences see him in action before his official MCU debut. It's clever marketing wrapped in good storytelling, showing us the myth before revealing the man. So even though Mahershala Ali isn't wielding the sword just yet, everything points to the Daywalker's time coming soon. The new design, the multiverse setup, and the growing appetite for darker Marvel stories all suggest that Blade will soon carve his way into the main MCU narrative. It's been a long wait, but once he returns, possibly after Secret Wars and Doomsday, Blade won't just be another superhero comeback. He'll be the one who reminds everyone that sometimes the most powerful heroes are the ones who hunt in the shadows. Because when the dust settles after the next Avengers saga and the MCU resets its universe, a new age of magic and monsters is exactly what Marvel needs. And Blade, with his sword gleaming under the moonlight, is the perfect one to lead that charge. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.